All right, so you're here with us today because you're curious about Bitcoin, right?
Right.
Specifically, how global events like, those big U.S. tariffs
Yeah.
might impact it.
Yeah.
And we've got you covered. We're going to break down this excerpt from a research paper
Okay.
called Impact of the Increase in U.S. Tariffs on Bitcoin Prices.
Wow.
And to help us unpack all this, we have an expert with us ready
Yes.
to get into it.
Absolutely. Let's explore these fascinating connections.
Okay, so this paper kind of dives right in talking about economic uncertainty.
Yeah.
Basically, when things like trade wars and tariffs start happening,
Yeah.
investors tend to get a little jittery.
That's true.
A little.
Markets crave stability,
Yeah.
and anything that disrupts that can send investors searching for safer places to put their money.
Right.
This is where the concept of a safe haven asset comes in.
Oh, wait.
Something that's expected to hold its value or even increase in value during times of turmoil.
Right.
Gold has traditionally played that role.
But now we have Bitcoin sort of entering the scene, potentially, as a digital safe haven.
Yeah.
Have we actually seen this play out in the real world? Has Bitcoin's price reacted to global uncertainty in the past?
There's definitely evidence pointing in that direction.
Okay.
For instance, back in 2020, during the initial shock of the COVID-19 pandemic,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's price saw a significant surge,
Interesting.
while other markets were plummeting.
Right.
Bitcoin seemed to offer a sense of stability, or at least detachment,
Right.
from the traditional financial system.
Speaking of traditional systems,
Yeah.
the Federal Reserve, the Fed,
Yes.
they play a big role here, don't they?
They do.
How do their reactions to events like tariffs
Sure.
end up influencing Bitcoin?
So the Fed's actions have a ripple effect throughout the entire financial system,
Okay.
and Bitcoin is no exception.
Right.
Their main tools are interest rates,
Right.
the cost of borrowing money.
Right.
When they see inflation rising, they might raise interest rates to cool things down.
So if interest rates go up, does that make it less appealing to invest in something like Bitcoin?
It can, because higher interest rates mean borrowing money becomes more expensive.
Right.
That can slow down economic activity overall.
Yeah.
Making riskier assets like Bitcoin less attractive to some investors.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
there's a counter-argument.
Oh.
Some might see Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, especially if they think the Fed isn't doing enough to control it.
Okay.
So higher rates could actually drive some investors towards Bitcoin.
Wow. So it's really a push and pull, isn't it?
It is.
Another thing this paper brings up is the sometimes strange correlation
Yeah.
between Bitcoin and the stock market.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they move in the same direction, and sometimes they seem totally independent.
Right.
What's up with that?
It's a fascinating dynamic.
Yeah.
When fear grips the markets and stocks start tumbling, we often see a flight to cash. People sell off their assets, including Bitcoin, to get their hands on liquid funds.
Makes sense.
That's when you see Bitcoin mirroring the stock market's downward trend.
But there are also times when Bitcoin seems to go its own way, right?
Exactly.
Like it's zigging while the market's zagging.
Those are the moments when Bitcoin's potential as a safe haven,
Yeah.
detached from traditional markets,
Right.
seems to shine through.
Interesting.
Remember, part of Bitcoin's appeal is its limited supply.
Yeah.
And its decentralized nature, meaning it's not controlled by any government or financial institution.
Right.
This can make it particularly attractive during times of global instability,
Yeah.
when faith in traditional systems is shaken.
It makes you wonder what this means for Bitcoin's future as an investment.
Right.
Now, here's a really interesting idea from the paper.
Okay.
It suggests that tariffs could actually boost Bitcoin adoption over time.
Interesting.
That sounds a bit counterintuitive.
It might seem strange at first,
Yeah.
but think about how tariffs work. They add complexity and cost to international trade,
Right.
creating friction in traditional payment systems.
Yeah.
Suddenly, businesses are looking for alternatives.
And that's where Bitcoin steps in.
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Bitcoin offers a way to bypass some of those hurdles.
Interesting.
It can be faster, cheaper, and more direct for cross-border transactions,
Okay.
especially when dealing with countries affected by tariffs or other trade barriers.
Right.
This could be a catalyst for wider Bitcoin adoption, particularly in the business world.
Could this be the push Bitcoin needs to move from a niche technology to something more mainstream?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
While the exact impact of these global events remains uncertain,
Right.
one thing is clear.
Okay.
Tariffs,
Hmm.
economic uncertainty,
Yeah.
and the Fed's response all play a part in shaping Bitcoin's role in the global financial landscape.
It's complicated.
It is a complex dance.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on, as it could give us valuable clues about the future of money itself.
Absolutely fascinating stuff.
It is.
Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure.
And to all of you listening out there,
Yeah.
keep those questions coming.
Keep on learning.
We'll keep diving deep.
Dive deep.
Until next time.
See you then.